Like, I would be willing to bet that most women, all women, would be willing to be that level of submissive to a man. Like, I just don't think that the men will be giving it back with the same energy. So that is where I find the problem. I think it's a
But does it need
problem
to be
if a
identical?
woman.
Echo? Does it need to
No,
be
it doesn't. No,
identical?
no, no. It definitely doesn't have to be identical at all. Like, but it has to be. She needs to be feeling the same bliss and whatever he's feeling from her. She needs to feel that from whatever her love languages are. But that's just not the story. Like we are the caregivers, we are the birthers, and so we're more inclined to spoil our men. Like, I think that's like human nature for most women. I do.
I think, I think I think that I hear what you're saying. Excuse me. I think there's some validity to that. I definitely do. I think that women, you guys are naturally the caregivers, right? You got, and I said this yesterday, right? You guys rise to the occasion and do things way better than men, right? And it sounds to me, and again, I could be wrong, but to me, it sounds to me like she's taking what she's good at, she's honing in on it, and she's delivering as she should. Tap in with me though. We got Clubhouse up here, Instagram, Facebook. Tap in. Clubhouse, what you got?
Hey, I want to remind y'all of this song that just popped in my head. Y'all remember that song, The Cleanup Woman? She'll
No,
take your man if you don't treat your man right. You haven't heard that by Betty Wright?
I
Clean
probably
up
did.
woman?
I probably did.
Yeah, it's talking about this, like how just what Ari said, like if you don't do it, don't know how, don't want to, whatever the case, there are cleanup women out here who gladly pick up that slack. So
Hey, wake that up. I know
yeah.
that's right. I know that's right. So let me ask you something, right? Because there is a part of this conversation that can that's being left out. Can a woman submit to a man she spoils? I think there could be a bit of a difference, and I agree, right? A woman that spoils her man, just because you buy your man things and do things, and we all seen thin line between love and hate. We all seen that movie, right? For the most part. And in the thin line between love and hate, Martin was dating a woman and she was just crazy. She spoiled the shit out of him, though. She spoiled him. However, she was crazy. She didn't submit to him, no. She did not. Just going off of the movie, right? And I wonder, is there a difference between submission and spoiling? I think that there is, but I'm interested because I heard some of you guys say that, is one and the same. And although I do believe, given the context of the question and the clip that was played, I believe it's one and the same. But just reading it, submission and spoiling, I believe is different.
That's a great point, Broadway, about the word spoil. Like, can I serve you and can I submit to you without spoiling you? Can I pour myself out to you and give you my best without making you
Mm.
rotten? So that's another excellent point, because what we hear from her is he's rotten, and then she talks about these love actions that she's taking, healing his heart, and about how draining that is. So so can I give you these things without you spoiling? Can you appreciate them and it be a thing that doesn't cause you to get lax and rotten? That's the question.
Mm. Mm. That's the question. That's the question. Um, Anisha, greetings, Anisha. Happy you could join us. Are you by your mic, Queen? Are you by your mic?
Yes, I am. Yes, hey, this is Anisha. Hi.
Hey, Anisha. How are you enjoying the conversation, Queen? And do you have any value you could add to it, be it on either side?
It's yeah, it's been great. This is actually a really interesting conversation. As for the question, can women submit to a man she spoils? I feel that in order to get to a space to even want to spoil a man, it's got to be, for me personally, a man would who is worthy and who I know is not going to abuse me spoiling him, because spoiling is something that is just going to come natural and submission is something that's just going to come natural. So
Very true. Very, very true.
that's
Nope.
really, yeah, my submission.
Yeah, no, nobody
That's
wants to be
my little
taken
sister.
advantage of. Oh, that's your little sister? Hey, little
That is my
sis.
little sis.
I,
Hey, sis.
I see where you get it from. Hey, Sayla. Sayla, am I enunciating your name right? Because I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Sayla?
Yes, say la vie. That's
All
right.
right, Sayla. Sayla, what's your commentary? YouTube, I need your comments. I need to see your comments. I need to know what you guys are thinking by way of the conversation. Tap in with me,
And
Sayla.
look up the word spoil. When we look up the word spoil, what is the definition of to spoil? And so we use it to say that we want to give somebody everything, but but it also denotes that you giving them everything makes them act ignorant. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. So if we're using it as a euphemism, if we're using it as just to say, I want to give them everything and beyond what they can imagine,
Sure.
okay. But if we're beginning to add elements to it that now they're rotten and I'm giving them all this love to try to fix them, this isn't a healthy paradigm. We can give somebody everything because we love them, but when we think that it's because it's going to change them, now we've slipped into a slippery
Slippery
place.
slope. That's a scary place. That's what she's saying. I think the word. I think we are using it as a euphemism, right? I think that we are. Overall, I believe that we are. But tap in with us. How are you guys? How are you guys identify? Do you guys spoil your men? And the men in here, do you enjoy being spoiled? And let's take it a step further. You know what? Let's work our way backwards. Spoil. Go ahead, answer that question. Stand in front of that.
Well, for me, whoever I'm with, I treat them well. I don't use the word spoil necessarily. I think when you spoil, it
Facts.
implies that you're being overly generous. But I treat you well, I respect you, and however I can cater to your needs, as long as you respect me and do well by me, I'm going to reciprocate that to you. Apart.
I think that would go good with when you said the person needs to come whole. Because when the person comes whole and, with all their own things, I mean, it's only so much you can give a person. And that's really just emotional attention at the end of the day if they don't need anything. Now, because some women are like, I'm not doing this for my man, I'm not doing that for my man. You understand? Cool. But as far as the question goes, as far as spoiling a man, now can I submit to a man that I'm financially responsible for? No. As far as the sense in the spoiling that goes. But if he is financially responsible for his own, and I am financially responsible for my own, and we come together whole, it's only so all you got is love to dish out. Spoiling, serving, because it's so recuperated, it's just going round and round.
Round and round. Right. And that's the type of situation I like being in. When it's going round and around. I'm giving on to you, what you're giving on to me. So thank you for that. That was 2K, right? I know that voice.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I got Instagram up here. I got Lala. I got my guy Memphis. Memphis, I apologize with the technical issues on YouTube, but we back up. My apologies, King. Tap in. We're talking about can a woman submit to a man she spoils, and we're working our way backwards, kind of, sorta. You can answer that though.
I believe so. Like, you know what I mean? A real man likes to receive things back, but he doesn't expect it. So when his woman does give him
Yes.
that spoiling, it's like I appreciate it, but it only causes me to be more of a man and step up and be more of the king that I am. Now, it's not like, you know what I mean, she's going to be submissive because I walk into my crown. I walk into my royalty. I walk as a man. So she's going to be submissive in that because I am a natural born leader. I had to walk into that. I had to learn how to be a leader of many.
Yeah.
So when I do that, it's basically yes, she can be submissive. Now, if I'm, excuse my language, if I'm a bad bitch as a male, then no, she can't submit to me because I'm going to fall back and continue to let you be the male figure in the relationship and continue to allow you to wear your pants. And it's going to put you in a situation where you're going to get tired of spoiling that man and said, tired of being or wearing the pants. I run into a lot of women nowadays that say that they are tired of wearing the pants because they had a strong man and they treated him as such, but that man got comfortable and turned into a submissive man and felt like he was wearing a skirt and he was the prize.
You see, I spoke about that in passing yesterday, right? I spoke about that in passing because there's a such thing as you know, I'm not even going to get into that, but I understand what you're saying, King, right? Sometimes you become so complacent, you lose all sense of your reality and you start moving in the space of being a beta male, perhaps. You get what I mean? So I'm picking up what you're putting down. Lala, how are you enjoying the conversation, Queen? I appreciate you pulling up with us.
The buzz. Interesting. Erie actually said exactly what I was going to say, but my service got nervous. So I don't think that all right.
COVID.
Right.
Yeah,
Get to it. What's happening with you, Lala? What's going on, Lala?
I'm actually on quarantine. I just came from the pharmacy.
See?
All right. What's your thoughts?
Anyway, what I was trying to say before I lost my breath was I don't think that you should be like giving into something and have the expectation of having it reciprocated back to you. If you are going to be doting and caring and loving towards your partner, that should just come from your heart. And however they receive that love and give back how they perceive love is to be for them, then you just need to receive it. If you can't rock with their love language, then maybe you need to go separate ways. But you just accept people for who they are. And also, if there's something that's amiss, just teach that person how to love you in the way that you can receive it. But it shouldn't be an expectation of if I do something that I'm going to get this back.
Well said. Well said.
I'm going to lay down. Bye.
Go lay down, Lala, and get that COVID Rona off for you. Appreciate you tapping. I need everybody to hit that link. There's a new link up there. Please hit that link, like that link, share it on Facebook. Thank you in advance. Share us out, and share us out. So is there such thing as all right, so we spoke a little bit about being spoiled. About the spoils, right? Benoit said that she doesn't use that word, but she treats her significant other very well when she has one. She treats them very well. She don't particularly use that word, but she treats them well, right? I believe that anyone that's rising to the occasion, and because let's just be clear, the older you get, the more complex we become. Right? Just putting it out there and making it black and white. So anybody that wants to rise to the occasion of making us happy, right? What up, Sincere? I believe that should be honored, appreciated, because our most precious piece of inventory is our time. And people so often take advantage of our time. Right? So it behooves us to give those that are moving right in exact with our time all that you can, whatever that looks like, right? I wouldn't personally, me, Broadway the Giant, hello, can you guys hear me? Am I deep enough? Pause. I wouldn't personally want to be in a situation where you're holding back on giving me certain things, meanwhile I'm here giving it to you all. Laying it all on the table. And sometimes I think that's what happens, right? Where you're giving all and then some people aren't and you feel like, yo, I'm spoiling you and I'm doing all that I can. And it doesn't make you a less than a person. It doesn't make you less than because you're giving your all to someone. It just means that you're giving your all to someone who probably is apprehensive about doing the same. Because as I said in other podcasts, right? Where sometimes we be the right person so long and we get done wrong that when we meet the right person, we become the wrong person for the right person. Y'all get that? I hope that ain't go over your head. right? So sometimes we need to, and I see that in a lot of women, a lot of my boys, I knew them for easily 15, 20, 30 years. And these are good men, but I don't watch women use and abuse them to a sense where now that nigga out here like real ass nigga give a fuck by the bit. And then they move like that, and then you understand because this is learned behavior, right? Humans, we have a way of adapting to our surroundings. If you put all of us in here right now that's listening, if you put us all in the jungle, in the woods, there's no shadow of a doubt. We're going to survive. We're going to adapt. It's just what we do. So when you've been around the F boy or the F girl wait a minute, way too long, you tend to adapt to that energy. Hence the reason why I said earlier when we screamed and did the other scream, it behooves us to be mindful or cognizant of the people that we keep around us. Because even if it's cool and it's fun, sometimes conversation, being in our ear or us hearing one thing too much, that shit starts to bleed over on you. And you'll start becoming the company that you keep in, and it won't be healthy. Hence the reason you are what you eat. But tap in with me, Clubhouse, how you feel about what I just said or anything that anybody said at this point?
So when I saw the title of the room, "Can Women Submit to a Man She Spoils?" how it sounded versus what the context of the video that you're using just seemed like two different things. So for me, when I read the title, what I was thinking was, is she taking care of him hand and foot to the point to where he has no manly responsibilities? She's paying for his haircut and paying the barber the tip. She's making sure that everything that he's supposed to be responsible for, she completely takes care of it. And then on top of that, the man is still expecting submission just off the strength of him being a man. I think that is very problematic. That's what I got from just reading the title, but it seems like you were going somewhere different with the conversation.
Yeah,
But I also just wanted to wake that up.
no, but that is important, right? But I think there's a difference, and I understand why you see it that way, right? I think there's a difference, Benny, in spoiling someone and because we can spoil you people, right? We can spoil you people and still be spoiled and spoil you, right? Two things could be true, right? I mean, I don't think anybody in here would be with someone and they're not, and they just keep doing the same thing without having them do on to them as they please, right? As they choose, right? So no, definitely, but it could be approached from that direction. Tap into Maya. I'm seeing what Maya wrote. I'm just gonna read a little bit of these comments. Maya said, accountability alert. When you recognize you aren't getting the love you deserve, address it or leave. You will be treated how you allow yourself to be treated. She also said, and don't project your negative experience on other women because you haven't had what she has or been loved the way that, or been loved in which she has, or been loved or have been loved in the way that she has been. Everyone hasn't had terrible partners, and don't cheat. I agree with that. I agree with that. She tapping in and she preaching. She tapping in. She catching the Holy Ghost. Memphis, how you feel about what Benoit said or the commentary I just read?
She's right. She's spot on. But you know what I mean? See, the young lady that said, like, you know, that spoke and said, like she said, she's if a man has all his manly duties taken away from him with the spoiling, what does it give that man to be? What does it give that man to do? Like, and some men can get comfortable in that. And I know a couple people, like, they don't look at it as being emasculated. They look at it as, all right, shorty taking care of me. But in actuality, is she taking care of you? Because the simple fact is she's not allowing you to be the man that you was built to be. So if you don't step up and be like, all right, babe, I love that you doing this, and I love that you being a queen about it, but I need you to, you know what I mean, I need you to put your dick on the shelf and let me use mine. Let me put my pants on. You put your skirt on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the simple fact is, this is what it's going to be. Love you and everything. Love you to death. But I need you to chill.
I need
But
you to
you got to
chill.
be able to, yeah, you got to be able to tell that woman that, and she's going to honor that because the simple fact is, I know you want to do that. Like it was the young lady who's talking about submissive, the comedian.
What she
She
said?
said she does. She said she does everything for her man, and she said I am submissive, and that's just like my job is to. It's like an eight step count and a dance. I need to know everything about my man to where when I need to move, it's time for me to move. When he don't need me to move, I know how to sit in silence or sit in my femininity, and
Right.
that's what it is. So, but you have to have a man that's willing to illuminate that. You have to be able
Mm.
to. Yeah, that's the woman Jazzy, the comedian Jazzy. Yeah, so you have to have a man that's willing to illuminate that and that shines, because being a man is not telling a woman what to do. Being a man is basically leading her into what's right, showing her that I'm on that same level as you. We're not going to compete. What we're going to do is work together and build. And that's where it comes. It comes where, yes, I love that you want to take care of me as a man, but my job is to pour into you and take care of you.
As a woman, right? And that's the
Yeah.
thing. I think it was Echo, or maybe I'm missing it. Somebody else said, I'm coming to you, Barbara, if you want to give a commentary in a moment. Somebody earlier said it's like a reciprocity. It's like, well, I pour into you, you pour into me. I pour into you, you pour into me, and keep that healthy energy being recycled. Keep that healthy
And
energy being
and
recycled.
and be way. 9 times out of 10, and I say this confidently, every woman that I've been with or dealt with, women always give 110%. So it takes us to be more than what they do. So if she's giving 110, I'm gonna give 120, because the simple fact is she's gonna always try to top what I'm doing, and that's what makes the relationship stay competitive in a great way.
I'm listening to that, right? And I,
Hmm.
I, I, I hear what you're saying, and I know where you're going with it, right? But just for clarity, right? Sometimes and I'm sure you heard the expression, too much is not enough,
Hmm.
right? Everybody has, right? So here's the jewel with this, right? It's a jewel. You can wear it, you give it away, right? The thing about the term too much is not enough, right? I think sometimes, yes, women, they do give 120%, right? But sometimes
Hmm.
you can give somebody everything that you want to give them, but that's not what they want, right? So
Mm.
hence you're giving them too much, but you're giving them too much, but they're looking at it like it's not enough. Wake that up.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
But you know what?
So
But
let me just land this one piece, King, right? So sometimes yes, women come into situations giving too much, being too much, so forth and so on. It's only looked at to be a great thing if they're catering to what that person wants, and it's not what they want to do. They're loving that person on their terms and not how they want to love them. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, I I get it.
Barbara, I got Barbara up here. Tap in with me, Barbara. I don't know if I see you agreeing with some things, honey. And I want to get it from you guys. I see the comments on YouTube tapping in. Shout out to Maya. And I want to get it from you guys. YouTube, you know how we do.
Hi, you guys.
Hey,
Man, look, I'm the old lady in the group, probably. Okay, I'm
stop it.
63. Yes,
God
and the
bless
thing
you.
is, we're blessing to you. Thank you. The young lady that 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 you played, that's me. I've always been like that, and I'm not married now, but when I was married, I did all of that for my husband, all of it. And he divorced me, he said, "Thank you. You are an amazing wife," and he vindicated me. And I was so grateful to him. And we're great friends right now because we have an autistic daughter together. So we
Okay,
always have to be friends. But
sure.
the thing is, submission is earned and given freely, and it comes with requirements. you know, and it's easy to spoil a man and submit to him. That's no issue. That should not even be an issue because the thing is, when he's doing his job, which is your covering, he's covering you and providing security for you, protection for you. That right there are the requirements for me to submit to you. I'm gonna
Come
come
on,
right under you
come
and
on, Bob.
nestle under you, baby, and then I'm gonna
Come
watch
on, Bob.
and look out
Come on,
for your good.
Barbara.
I
Barbara,
got
what's your
your
phone
back.
number? Are you the
I'm
other
gonna
woman?
fight.
Hello?
What?
Because you out here, listen. Because
Oh,
listen, honey, hey, Barbara, let me tell you something, right? And I'm speaking directly to you, Barbara, right? I
yes,
said,
sir. Yes, sir.
and I'm so sorry to cut your wisdom, Queen, and but I'm getting kind of
Oh,
carried
you
away.
fine. You
But
fine.
because you're weighing
You
in, and
fine.
I said a lot of the sentiments that you said and expressed as being that woman to the clip that I played earlier. I said, well, maybe he's doing his job and he's coming as fit, right? Just using context clues. If a man is showing up as a man and he's doing everything that he's supposed to be doing, why would a woman be reluctant on being and giving him what he should deserve? I said that. So when I hear you say, yo, I identify as that woman, it wakes it up and tells me, I don't know what they was talking about, but I know what I was saying, and listening to what you saying, I'm just gonna say it. Hey, listen, man, you ain't gotta be the sharpest tool in the shed to say it, to add it up. You hear me? But I'm sorry, Queen. I just got excited.
No, you're fine. You're fine. And and I know that a lot of my young queens out there. I know their experiences in relationship have formed the way they're going to go into their next relationship. That man, if they're not healed from that past relationship, the new man is going to pay for the pain and hurt from the former relationship, and we a lot of times we miss a wonderful man looking at what the past man did. So the thing is, we have to, every man is different. Every woman is different. There's not a doggone thing wrong with spoiling a man. Ain't nothing wrong. And there ain't nothing wrong with a man spoiling you. And a lot of times when we spoil men in our comfortableness, in our femininity, that man, believe me, is taking care of, he's taking care of us. Trust
Hey,
me, he's taking care of us.
hey,
Because see, the thing is, listen, as she was talking,
sure.
I did not hear any animosity or anger in her voice. She just said she was tired, and you should be tired after you have done and exhorted energy out to of love. If you're not getting tired and you are giving out love and not getting tired, you ain't doing it right. Because anything that you extrude out, especially when you come to service to make someone else happy or to make yourself happy, you're going to be tired from. She did not say that, oh, I can't stand him. Oh, he getting on my nerve. Everything she said came out of a joyful spirit. And that's what we are missing. We're missing the spirit that she's speaking out of. Dang,
Right,
y'all, come on.
right.
Feel her spirit. Try the spirit by the spirit. The woman is happy. She didn't say, he didn't do this for me. And I, no. She said, I enjoy.
So here's the
It
thing,
brings me
right?
joy.
Here's the
And
thing,
it
right?
brought me joy. Pardon?
Here's the where you from, Barbara?
Yes, sir. I'm originally from Alabama, and I'm back. I lived in Indiana, and I just recently moved back to Alabama. So I'm in
Okay.
Alabama now.
Okay, cool. Shout out to Alabama. So here's the thing, right? We're speaking from a context of husband, right? We ain't speaking about the context of a boyfriend, right? We ain't speaking about context because I also see Maya J. She said Maya J. said that's, and I believe she was responding to you. She said that's cool, mama, but she said that's cool, mama, but you can't expect the man who's not your husband to pay all your bills for you then. And yes, that's a lot of truth. There's a lot. I'm not sure if she was responding to you, but she was responding, and I just wanted to highlight that. And I agree, right? I mean, like, you can't expect that from somebody that's not your husband. If you get it by way of somebody that's that's just your man and you're in a serious relationship, it's a plus. But it doesn't have to be that. She don't got to be that way either way, right? But thank you for that commentary, Queen. I think you came in and woke it up because I tell you this much.
Blessings.
I tell you this much, and I said this earlier. And I'm coming to you, Memphis. I see you, King. I tell you this. I think some women, and if it don't apply, please let it fly. I think some women just don't want to rise to that occasion because they're more so afraid of being used and abused because they have been in the past. And what you just said about being something in this relationship, when you go over to that relationship, you take a little bit of this. And when you've dealt with enough bad situations, or perhaps witnessed enough bad situations, it puts you on on your feet and your toes, and you're leery about things because what you're really doing is saying to yourself, hey, I don't want to be this, not because I've experienced. Hey, listen, I don't smoke weed. I'm not a weed smoker, right? Because when I was growing up, all the weed smokers looked strung out, looked nasty. They wasn't functional like how now it may be. When I was growing up, it didn't look like it is now. It looked cool. It looked like people are doing whatever they're supposed to be doing, but somewhere in my head, it's etched in stone. That don't match my personality. So what people do in relationships to correlate the two is they see things that they don't want for themselves, and they'll be like, hey, I don't particularly like X thing. Not that I've experienced it, but I don't want to open myself up for things because I don't want to experience X thing. I hope I ain't confused you guys. Memphis,
Broadway, before
Broadway, may I speak when given the opportunity?
Sure,
yes,
sure, shorty.
oh, thank you. Before I go,
Yes.
I just wanted to say I was referring to that as a husband,
Yes.
because this is it. Number one, I I date with a purpose. I just don't date, and there are certain requirements that just has to be there, and because I'm not dating for a boyfriend or for a companion, for a husband.
Yeah.
And I agree
Sure.
with the young lady when she said, it's about your husband. So I just wanted to just say that. That's all. Hey, I love this conversation.
I
Hey, it's
appreciate it.
good. It's good.
I appreciate it. I'm coming to you. After Shorty, I'm coming to you after Memphis. Memphis, you got something to say?
Don't let her leave. I gotta give her flowers.
Okay,
Like,
give
real
her
talk,
give her flowers.
The young lady that said something to you earlier, talking about the cleanup woman, right? It's another song that this young lady reminds me of. Is when she said "woman to woman." When she told the woman, yeah, exactly. When she told the young lady, look, the clothes that he got, I buy. The shoes, the food that he put in his mouth, I pay that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
listen, she is the epitome of a woman that will be submissive to a great leader.
Yeah.
And I commend you, Queen. I hear you, Queen. And somebody said in the chat, my home girl from New York, so she said you should start having classes to women that are wanting and willing to listen. Because the simple fact is we need more women like that. Because
as men,
because men, we do overstep our bounds and put too much out there because we feel like that's what it needs to be, and then we get used in a sense. But women get used too. So don't get it twisted when I say that.
Very true. Very true.
So when I say this, we need to start breaking these generational curses in these circles and break them, because we need to put healed people with healed people and then stop putting traumatic people with healed people, and then it turns it into a vicious cycle because that hurt person, that hurt person is going to turn this healed person back into a toxic person, and it keep perpetuating the cycle. So that's what I wanted to say. Like, real talk, we need to break these cycles because there's a lot of great people out here in this land and in this earth, man, that need each other and want each other, but we keep running into the fuck people.
Yeah. I appreciate
and
that,
it's
man.
not. Yeah, and it's not because they fuck people because they want to. They just been fucked over
so many times.
That's all it is.
So many times.
And I'm gonna let you go, King. I'm finna finish my last day in Colombia
Oh,
I'm in
you in
Cartagena.
Colombia? Okay, I knew
Yeah,
you was in a hotel somewhere, but I was like, shit, he probably
yeah.
I don't know who you with. I'm just gonna be quiet.
Nah. I came alone. I came
Okay.
alone. It's my birthday weekend. You know what I mean?
Hey,
If y'all want cash at me, hit me in my DM, whatever.
hey, the
Just
real
shoot me a
Memphis.
drink.
Just get him a
The real
drink.
Memphis on IG. You know what I
Listen,
mean? Nothing
listen.
too small, nothing too big. I love y'all.
Shout out to my guy Memphis, man, and shout out to you giving Barbara flowers. I appreciate it. We also celebrating Airy birthday. Shout out to Queen Airy. What up though,
Cancer
Shorty?
season.
Cancer season, and that's a fact. Shorty, thank you for your patience, Queen. Give me your commentary, Queen. Thank you. I appreciate your patience.
Same person that's on YouTube commenting is also me on Clubhouse. Maya J, that's the same
I
person.
knew. I saw it. You know what's funny? When he was talking, I literally saw it. I was like, I wonder if that's the same person. It gotta be the same person.
Yes, that's me. I really wanted what I was saying to be heard, so I was making sure I was, covering as much ground as possible.
Yes,
But
yes.
first, I just wanted to say I was not responding to Miss Barbara. I wasn't.
Oh,
I
okay,
was
okay.
literally generally speaking. But since you brought that point up, the reason why I said that it was to go with another comment that may have been lost in the queue. I said a lot of women want to be treated a certain way and want things from men that they aren't willing to provide, and that's a problem. The example I used was I'm not going 50-50 on the bills because I hear a
Yes.
lot of women saying that. So my response to that was, that's cool, ma'am. You ain't got to go 50-50 on the bills, but you can't expect a man who's not your husband to pay all your bills for you then. That's what I was responding
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
I
yeah,
actually
yeah.
agree
Yes,
100% and
yes,
wholeheartedly with Miss Barbara. I was
yes,
raised by my grandmother. So
yes.
my grandmother and Miss Barbara are are very similar in a lot of ways. And because of that, I'm grateful for women like her who don't, you know what I'm saying, perpetuate the stereotypes that younger women my age are adopting and are trying to steer us back in the right direction. Because me at 23, I already understand how all of this is supposed to operate and go. And because of that, I'm already prepared to be a wife before I get my ring, if you
Wow.
know what I mean. So
Yes. But this is
that's
how
all I
you
got
get
to
it.
say.
But this is how you get it. And Lindsay Smith said she agrees with you. She said nicely said on in the YouTube comments. She said she agrees with you. But this is how you get it, right? Because if you want prime real estate, right, you got to put yourself in a position to be able to buy prime real estate, right? It's the same thing with occupying the space of a beautiful woman that you identify as worthy, right? If you want to be,
Exactly.
if you want to be in that prime real estate, you gotta come dressed the part. You can't come dressed
Right.
however you want to dress, pants sagging, doing what you want to do, because she gonna look at you like, nah, nigga, I'm not. Why, if you, why would I let you live in this prime real estate, Trump Plaza, right there off the water, off the West Side Highway in New York, and you getting food stamps like the lady in the other clip. That lady, y'all know what I'm talking about. I get excited, forget what I can't get it out. Pause. But what I'm saying is why would I want to have you occupy the space of something that's valuable and the way you treat yourself is invaluable.
Correct. And Broadway, I think it's also important to keep in mind for the younger women that there are women who are the opposite of Miss Barbara, who will teach you, oh, you're not supposed to. The saying is, a man won't purchase the cow if he's getting the milk for free.
What?
But me personally, before I buy a car, I want to test drive it. I want to see, is this man husband material? And the only way for him to be able to show me that is if we interact. That's why me and my boyfriend have been together for almost 3 years. That's why we are learning each other and growing with each other. And we've lived together for a while. And we've been here before and we've done this before. Because if we didn't already understand and see each other in that light, how in the heck do we expect to be married? So I know a lot of people be trying to help when they say that, but you got to look at it from a different standpoint. Because if you're not already operating in a certain way, then the goal that you have will never be reached because you don't even know if that's really what you want. You got to test drive the car first before you drive it.
I know. Listen, I know. Shorty wanted to tap in. I'm gonna see if Shorty's still available to tap in. But before I give it to her, I want to say, this is a delight doing this with you guys, right? Everybody, because at some point in time, you realize that your vibe attracts your tribe, right? And there's certain things and ways that you feel that there's a space and place for you in the world. And how you feel, there's men and women alike that's willing to oblige and come dressed to the party as you see fit, right? It's just about being very selective with your time and realizing the value that they actually add to you and that they're willing to give you more than they're willing to take away, right? So I just wanted to say that. It was on my spirit. So, Shorty, are you by your mic, Queen? See if Shorty by her mic. Shorty by mic. I think it's oh, there she go. Oh, yeah, Shorty, what's happening with you? My bad. I said Shorty. I thought it was a woman. My bad, King. Tap in with me, beloved. I know you wanted to tap in.
I just wanted to understand what was the context more before I said something, but I don't talk on based on I don't have enough information yet. So I just want to hear a little bit more.
Shorty, you've been sitting here for the last 40 minutes. I'm going to throw something at you, Shorty. Shorty occupied.
I wasn't even. I don't have nothing right now.
Can I add or kind of go back?
Yeah, sure, please, sure.
So you mentioned a minute ago about seeing certain things take place and then moving accordingly, to certain things you've seen. So you don't allow certain things to take place. You remember when you said that?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting scared because I don't know what you're about to say.
No. I'm saying, like, it really resonated with me. You were like, I hope I didn't lose anybody, but you didn't lose me is what I'm trying to say, because growing up, I saw so much that I did not like, with my parents. They were both present, but they were not in the same household. And they kind of placed emphasis on, don't do things the way we did things. And then on top of that layer, neither one of my parents are American. So there was always something I was observing, whether it was like culturally or whether it was, just certain emotions that I went through, just being angry with my parents not being in the same household and just making sure that I held on to all of those angry emotions. So I made sure that I could not and would never give myself to any man, you know what I mean? Unless it is divine and from God, because I've just seen too much. And even outside of my parents, just seeing, siblings go through certain things. And because I'm the only child between my mom and dad.
Sure.
And yeah, so just what you said really resonated because I really did my best and still am to learn from the mistakes of the people around me, number one being my parents, and just really move on because there's just too much. There's too much going on in the world. And I am knowing the type of woman I am, I know it's just I have to be extremely selective when it comes to the opposite sex because
as you should.
I'm not. Yeah. I cannot. Like I've had friends, just dated certain men are like, how are you so, loving it? I'm like, I think it's just because I've never fully given myself to a man in that way.
How
because
old are
I
you?
know I'm in my 30s, early 30s.
Okay. If I could just say one thing to you, Queen, right? And I want to play this clip again so everybody can understand what we're speaking about. But if I could just say one thing to you is sometimes we occupy two extremes. And this is just real talk. Sometimes we occupy two extremes. Some people give until they have nothing, right? You occupy a space of how they say a baby with new credit, and you never had credit before, so it's not good, it's not bad. But what I will say is, it's not it's good. In a sense, it's good credit, but there's no history. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. You have good credit, but there's no credit history. And if you ever use credit and you're familiar with credit, sometimes your credit is good. You got a 750, but they won't give you certain things because there's no history, right? So sometimes we need our history we need to have some type of good and bad history so that we can use our discernment to decipher what's good and what's not. You get what I'm saying? So,
Right. Yeah, I
yeah,
totally get what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah. Um,
totally.
I want to play this clip. I got Sincere with me. Sincere, just bear with me for 1 second, King. I just want to play this clip one more time, but before I get your commentary, King, is that okay, Sincere?
I want to see the clip so I know what I'm talking about. I want to see the clip so I know what I'm talking about.
All right, cool. So let's do this, Sincere. Jump off the live with me, and go to my YouTube, and you'll be able to hear the clip clearly. That's cool, Sincere?
Yeah.
All right, my
I'll
man.
come back.
All right, cool, my man. Because he Sincere was tapping in the comment section, and he has something to say, and I definitely wanted to. He was speaking to some of you ladies actually, and I want him to speak directly to you. What up, Divine Audio? All right, so here go the clip again.
What does a submissive woman do for her man?
Everything.
What does that mean?
You know, like packing his bag, unpacking his bag.
I should have gave him a little bit more time.
What?
I should have gave him a little bit more time. Hold on. Here we go.
What does a submissive woman do for her man?
Everything.
What does that mean?
You know, like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And like, I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning, I know how you are about midday, I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. And you know, when I talk to my girlfriends about it, I was like, oh, how you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like, he's rotten. But I love that. Like, I want him to be that. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining, but my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like, that's who I am. Like, if I love you, I can heal you.
It's your joy.
It is my joy. You know, I love to see him eating the meal that I cooked. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, you know? So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
He wants what I have to offer. Wow.
Hey, bro, wait, sign me up for that. Sign me up for that anytime, any day. Again, with balance. Again, with balance, though, with balance. I don't want to be baby.
Right.
I don't want to be a man and I'm able to walk on my own. But sign me up for that, but also with balance.
All right,
Okay, yeah.
Now I want to ask you a question while before Sincere comes back, right? So the question I want to ask you is, you say that's what you want, right? Sign you up for it, but with balance, of course, right? The question that makes me think of is, are you willing to rise to the occasion of what it is ex-woman wants? Right? Because as men, we pray for things, we ask for things, women too, but I'm a man, so that's how I'm speaking, right? We pray for things, we ask for things, but we're not always cognizant of what's attached to it, right? So when I say that, you know, I ask you that question respectfully saying, are you willing to rise to the occasion as to perform under the duties as you should, knowing that that's what you want, beloved?
Of course, because that's what I asked for. So, in the same breath, how you go to a restaurant, you're kind of obligated to. If you go to a restaurant to eat, you're obligated, and you actually ate the food. You're obligated to pay. So, I say that with the mind frame of, I asked for this type of woman. I'm gonna have to pay for it. How I pay for it is by achieving my duties that I'm supposed to achieve.
Got it. I know that's right. Sincere, come up on Instagram with me, beloved. So let me read some of these comments while Sincere pulls up. All right, so here's the thing. Lindsay Smith said, LOL, not sure how I feel about this. In my head, I don't know. She's biting her nails and she's looking left and right in my head. Sincere said, so she completely gave herself to her man. Wake that up. Lindsay said, she's gorgeous. I think that helps a lot. So does her care. To point out of what she said, to point of biblical submission. I guess that's what she's probably referring to. What if she was ugly but submissive? I think he would take advantage of her kindness and cheat too. I see what you're saying. So you're saying pretty much because she's beautiful, it makes it easier for a man to receive what she's saying, Lindsay, right? If she was ugly, he probably would do take and not give. Okay. Hey, Sincere, I'm hitting the accept button. You got to accept the request, King. You got to accept the request. Lindsay said, Sincere, that scares me. We're going to get Sincere up here momentarily. Do you guys got any commentary else in the comments of YouTube? I see what Lindsay. All right, there we go. We got Sincere up here with me. What up, though, beloved? What up, beloved? Sincere, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, so tap in. You said in the comment section, so she pretty much gave all of herself to her man.
That's what she did. She gave herself completely to the man.
How do you feel about that?
I don't see anything wrong with that. If a woman completely submits to the man, I don't.
Sincere, can I just point out the obvious for a second? I just want to highlight the obvious. And I know, hey, listen, if you listening to me, giants out there, listen. This is very important what I'm about to say. Because if you've been listening with your ears and not with your feelings, all of the men have been agreeing with what's being said by way of her. It's only been a few of the women that have given resistance on what she's saying.
Can I say this?
Sure.
It's because of this reasoning, how, in my opinion, a woman can really keep a man when she caters to him, when she really does those aspects. That's how you keep a man in society and being traditional.
So do you think women don't? Because I heard quite a few women that gave resistance on this, right? Not all women, but quite a few gave resistance. So do you think some women, like I stated earlier, they just don't want to do it? They just want to receive what they want to receive, and they don't want to oblige and rise to the occasion to what us men want. That's what we want. You know how when women say, I want a man that can take care of me. I want a man that can, be not be walked over, but he's assertive. He's not aggressive. He's attentive. He knows how to listen to me. He's a listener. This is what women generally want. I'm not saying all women, but generally women want. This is what they say. So why is it hard for women to receive what men are saying? Like, do they not want to listen to? Who do you want to be with? Unless you gay and you want to date the same sex, by all means, feel free. But it's not what we men generally, not all, generally want. Sincere, go for it, King.
In my opinion, I see a lot of women nowadays. They just giving the dudes that don't even have potential a chance nowadays. And it's really good brothers like me and you out there that really deserve that opportunity. Like, they got the whole thing nowadays where it's like some men, even with me as a man, I feel like what hurt the dating scene is with this one thing. When women said, I don't need a man, the independent movement. So for me, I don't agree with that, because it's like, why would you ever say, I don't need a man, when we are supposed to be the leader towards you as a woman? So I don't agree with none of that. I don't, for me.
D, I see you, D. You buy your mic, King? Did I see D?
That's the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth, man. That I think, on my opinion.
I appreciate that, Sincere. D, you my guy, man. Like you my guy, man. Shout out to my guy DWI Music. I know you've been listening in the background, and I want to know how like I want to get your deep dive on this because you know you come at things from a different you have a beautiful mind, respectfully, you know, and you say things sometimes that make me go, yeah, well, he ain't lying. You get what I'm saying? So I'm very interested to get your point of view on this as if you can be objective as possible.
Okay, or to be objective. Well, this is a question: can women
Don't worry
submit
about
to
it.
a
Just
man?
be yourself and
Right.
answer.
No, no, no. Can a woman submit to to a man she spoils? So I'm gonna say she can, but it has to be a fine line. She's treating a man good and spoiling, as long as he's a firm person that's not gonna get hung up on she's doing nice things for me, so I could chill. But if he's gonna go harder because this woman is taking care of him and lifting him up, then goddamn it, I think it's a go. Because what I'll say is I haven't been spoiled by somebody that I wanted to be spoiled in a very long time. I probably want to go ahead and say never that it was equally reciprocated, and I've never stopped working because someone did something for me. If anybody ever did something for me, it's because they even wanted to add on or they wanted to help me out through a tough time. But I always bounced back and I always stood on all 10. So I would say it would be great with all in my 47 years that I find in my second half of my life that me and whomever I'm with could spoil each other because it's going to be reciprocal, and we go off into the sunset like that, because I think that's the way. I don't think it should be uneven at this stage, because I know when you knew better you do better, right? So I'm just hoping that the woman that I connect with has that same vibe, and yeah, so it's that.
I appreciate that, D. Hold on. I got the queen with me. I got Breezy, cool comedian up here with me, and I want to get her commentary. Tap in with me, Breezy.
What's the subject? I didn't cut. I don't. What you mean by spoil?
All right, so we having a conversation as the Shanboody. She has a podcast. It's called Lovers and Friends. And part of the commentary that was provided by way of her most recent episode, it was a young lady by the name of Watch Breeze, right? And Watch Jazzy, excuse me. Jazzy said she enjoys spoiling her man. She enjoys rubbing his back until he falls asleep. She does it all. And she enjoys it. She literally enjoys it, right? And to dovetail with that, she didn't say this. What up, Brad? She didn't say this, but we're extracting from the body language and how proud she's speaking and how much she enjoys loving and being with him. Everybody hit that YouTube link up top and hit that like button, please, and thank you. So that's what we're giving commentary to. So the question is, can a woman submit to a man she spoils?
I guess like I'm confused because I don't see how that's spoiling. And then if they love and care for each other like that, then it sounds like they are committed to each other. So it seems to me, right, that what you just described is what you're supposed to do. If you're with somebody and you love them.
Yeah.
But I would also think on the flip side, if he had a long, hard day and you know that day he wasn't.
Mute your mic, King. Hold on. Mute your mic, King. Mute your mic until we're ready for you. Just mute your mic. Mute your mic on your live.
Peace, D.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Queen. My apologies. Know what's going on with these guys.
So I was just saying, like, let's say one day she was having a rough day, I would assume he'd do the same for her. So I think that if it's mutual and they take care of each other, then no, it shouldn't be a problem whatsoever of you know what I'm saying, doing those things for your man.
Right.
That said, isn't that what submitting is?
Hey, listen, I agree. I'm not indifferent to what you're saying. I agree with you. I think you should rise to the occasion and put in the work and do what you're supposed to be doing by way of the person you want to be with. If you know and understand your significant other and you know that their love language is acts of service, why wouldn't you give acts of service? That's an act of service. Rubbing his back till he falls asleep. Cooking for him. I believe Shan, she said, what does a submissive woman do? The first thing Watch Jazzy said was everything. Submissive woman does everything. If you ask me what a man does that is a man that is serving and protecting and loving and protecting his significant other, ask me what he do. Ask me what he do. Somebody. What he does is everything. He doesn't give a little bit because, no, he gives everything. And I think a lot of times we occupy the spaces of being afraid of giving everything because we have given everything and we didn't receive everything as a byproduct of giving everything.
Gave everything to the wrong person. That's because if you gave everything to the wrong person.
That's what I just said. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a byproduct of I gave everything to people and they didn't give it back. So now I'm moving around with a chip on my shoulder and I'm feeling some sort of way. And then you do that to the right person. And then the right person, you realize that that's the right person after you F them over and then it's too late. Hello?
Right.
Interesting. All right, listen, we're going to move to final thoughts, right? Because this has been a great conversation. This has been a great conversation. We got the giants out here, and they in the YouTube comments. I'm asking everybody hit that link up top. If you did earlier, this is a different link. Please make sure you hit that link up top on YouTube. It's on Instagram. It's on my bio. Please make sure you hit that YouTube link and hit that like button. Final thoughts. I'm going to give it to Instagram first, and then I'm going to come to Clubhouse. So think about your final thoughts on the topic matter. Sincere, what are your final thoughts on this, King?
I just think that, that's the way how a woman can keep a man doing those things that she was doing for her guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The only aspect of him is, he should just be more as a leader, as an individual, as a man. That's the only thing. It's the only thing that is a difference is that it's just in reverse with the submission. It's like the woman is basically having, that forefront. So I don't see anything wrong with what she was doing, bro. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the people that see something wrong are the people probably are more the takers. The ones who
that's interesting.
Whether it's the women who want to be taken care of, but they don't want to know how to cook and clean and do things that come with the territory when you transition from wife to mother. And on the flip side, there's plenty of men that want a woman to do all those things, and they want her to work, and they don't feel like they should have to. They should have a maid and a cook and all of those things, and she works, and all he do is work. That's not really balanced right there. That's not balanced at all, and there's a lot of that.
I agree, and I know what you're saying. I agree and know what you're saying. I appreciate those final thoughts. Let me PTR so I can see what's happening on Clubhouse. Allison, do you have any final thoughts, Queen?
Life is about reciprocity. Relationships are about reciprocity. Never pour from an empty cup. Make sure that you're getting in return.
Wake that up. DWI, final thoughts.
For you get what you give, and I think people need to stop going into situations thinking that looking at what they can get out of it before they can realize what they can actually give, because obviously some people are givers, some people are takers, but I think when you get to a certain point and you cross over, that you realize that you find your right person for you, that they deserve to be given pretty much the world of what they need, and it should be reciprocated.
Yes. Wake that up. Miss Prez, final thoughts, or can I have a thought? I know you just came, Queen.
Sure.
I know you just came.
I know I came into the conversation a little bit late, but I love what
Oh, her service? Did she get a phone call? Miss Prez, your service a little nervous. Am I the only one that can't hear her? All right, cool. We
Yeah, I think she's on the phone.
all right, all right. Maybe she just hung up because I see it went red. All right, it went white. All right, cool. We're gonna come back to her. Naisha. Final thoughts, Queen.
What's up? What's up? Do what works for you and be happy. That's it. Like everybody's relationship dynamic is different. So be happy, do what works for you, and that's it.
Yeah. Prez, are you back by your mic? Okay. 2K, what it do, shouty?
Hey, my final thoughts. Basically, moving from a place of need to a place of wholeness. Because sometimes, you might get in a relationship where it might be good, but at times, it gets emotionally exhausting. So each person is not always up as the other person is up. You have to sometimes just pick each other up. Sometimes he's sad or going through stuff, and you might be just overly happy and you feel me, in a good place to where you can pick him up, and then you might be sad on your monthly or whatever, and he up on his high horse, and then he just pick you up, and it creates a balance. But it's gonna have to start with wholeness.
Right, 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 right. I agree. I agree. Barbara, final thoughts, Queen.
At the end of the day, it's all about peace
Yeah. It's all about peace.
and the old cliche, happiness. Because there's a scripture that says that a man would rather sit or live or sleep on the rooftop than to be inside the house with a cantankerous woman. And that goes the other way.
Yes.
It goes both ways. If you don't have any peace in your home, you have chaos. And your children's messed up, you messed up. And at the end of the day, you can't manifest anything in mess. And that's it.
Wonderfully said. Wonderfully said. Appreciate you for that, Queen. Let me see. Maya J. Any final thoughts, Queen?
I just appreciate the opportunity, and I really enjoy these rooms a lot. I learn a lot, I grow a lot, I evolve a lot. Just want to say, don't let um things realize that everyone views you from their perspective of you and their perception of the world, and so therefore you have to do what's best for you. I agree wholeheartedly with what Naisha said. If it works for you, then do what works for you, because everybody is experiencing life differently, and nobody knows what you have gone through previously that may be a reason why you appreciate your current situation so greatly. So be blessed,
I
love and light to
appreciate
all
that.
of you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm coming to Instagram right now. Give me one more second. Shorty, tap in. Final thoughts, King.
Final thought is real simple. It's all about uh not thinking you know it all and always willing to grow. Um, Compromising on your own ego, so that way you could become a better version of yourself. And it's all about teaching and learning. There's no better student than you actually learning from your own mistakes, from other people's mistakes, so you can become better. And I keep my peace there.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I appreciate that, Shorty. I appreciate that, Shorty. Miss Prez, are you by your mic now? Oh, she's on the phone call. All right, cool. Let me tap in with Bambi.
Hi.
Hey, Bambi.
So yeah,
Fine.
you cut off before. I don't know. My husband's very jealous and possessive, so I don't think he liked the way you were talking to me and the tone and stuff like that.
Oh well. Unfortunately, my concern is your final thoughts at this moment.
Regarding whether women should wait, can women say to a man she's spoiled?
The conversation. Yep.
Okay. My final thoughts are I would hope that on a platform like this, we're being kind of responsible. And I don't know what spoiling and submitting are two different things. So, I mean, and you have to look at it vice versa. Does a man submit to a woman he spoils? I don't. So I don't know what the goal of
It's
what
back to your platform. Can I ask a question to her? Can I ask a question? I got a question.
Sure, ask her a question.
Can I,
Sincere.
can I ask you a question, Danny? Isn't it as the man supposed to spoil the woman? Like when that's just like old lady, his wife, isn't he supposed to spoil her?
Hold on, sincere.
Yeah, the man's supposed to spoil the woman. Exactly. Yep. That's how it's supposed to go.
Hold on, sincere. Can you reiterate that question because your service was a little nervous?
Oh, what I was saying is that the group of black men that I grew up around, they spoiled their wives. You know what I'm saying? It never came to a point where the woman was spoiling the man because the man was in leadership position. He was the sole provider. So he basically took care of the woman, and then at home, she was like housewife. I came from a tradition where it's like the woman stayed home. The man was the sole provider. The woman didn't have to work. So that's another way how it can happen, in my opinion.
All right, so here's the thing. Go ahead, Queen.
I try to fulfill all his needs as far as like, whatever type of needs that he might have at home and expect from his wife. Certain needs, but not all of, what do you mean no?
Now let me ask you a question.
Hold on. These are hold on, sincere. Hold on.
I know because I'll go in and start asking no questions. I'll ask some tough questions. Right?
Yeah. Hold on, sincere. Right. So here's the thing, right? And these are final thoughts, right? I'm coming to you, Memphis. Give me a second, beloved. I'm gonna address a few things, right? The first thing is we living in a time that's different from our past, right? So yes, I believe that to a great extent, it is still a man's job to spoil you his queen, his wife, his lady. It's just gentleman-like qualities. Spoil you her. If you identify her to be special, spoil you her, as you should. Because the times are different, right? But even in the past, because a woman is taking care of a household, because she's tending to your kids, because she makes sure you want for nothing, she is spoiling him. She doesn't have to do all of these things. She doesn't have to. She's not required to do all of these things. But if she identifies him to be special, identify him to be rising to the occasion, identify him to be the joy and love of her life, why wouldn't you want to spoil him? That's rhetorical because we know the answer to that, right? We logically know the answer to that, right? But the other thing I want to address, I speak to everybody on my platform exactly the same. There won't be any compensation or special requests by way of said viewership, right? Let me just finish, Queen.
Oh.
That's to everybody, right? We come up here for the shits and the giggles, right? We come up here and I'm not regarding it. You know, it is what it is. And what that means is if I'm sitting up here, I don't disrespect anybody, right? But because I'm doing something here, and I tell you guys, yo, hold on, one mic, yo, back on Broadway, it's just that, back on Broadway, because we doing something here. And sometimes things get a little bit taken out of hand, and if you take that, whomever, take that by way of being disrespectful, those are your feelings. I can't tell you how to feel. But what I will say for here and what we do is we're trying to conduct a valuable conversation, one that's not self-centered. And if it is, we're going to highlight it because sometimes people say things we don't agree with, but we want to hear it entirely. And sometimes people say things and you just start going way left away from what the topic is, and we got to bring it right back because people like to talk, and it gets left. It goes left sometimes. So with that said, I yield my mic to Memphis. Final thoughts. Thank you.
My final thoughts is this. I'm glad you said what you said, King. Women have always been given a form of spoils to their man within the household. You know what I mean? I might go out and make the money and I come home and bring the check to you. You know how to put it into the financial situation. You know how to spread it amongst the house. You know how to keep the kids great. You know how to do all of that stuff. So my final thing is this. Take the slave mentality out of your mind. The ownership. we don't own each other. We build with each other. So people get into relationship and talk about ownership and want to be owning each other. We build. So organically, let's build with each other. Let's love each other the way God wanted us to love each other and everything like that. So, and my say, spoil your husband because he's already spoiling you. Spoil your man because he's going to already spoil you. We don't want a woman that's got a hand out. We want a woman that got a hand in her pocket because she's already building her own shit. So, do I want you to work? Nah, but do I want you to have the ability to work? Yes, because the simple fact is, I want you to be able to, if I ever fall, to be able to pick me up as a king and be like, look, let me dust your crown off. Let me fix it up and let's get back to going. You know what I mean? So am I going to fall? I don't know. But at the same time, I want to put you in a position to where if I do fall, we don't miss a beat.
Right, you're in
So that's my
position.
final shit. Yep.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Man, great conversation. I think a lot of us grew, right? Because I love getting it from angles that pause. That sounds crazy. I like receiving information. That sounds crazy. I love receiving information from all perspectives, right? Those that I favor, those that I don't. Because those that I don't, I know there's other people that's listening or may view, right, that will agree with that point of view. So there's no wrong point of view in it all. You get what I'm saying? Everybody lends value to the platform. Everybody lends value, and the fact of the matter is nobody is right. I'm not right. You're not right. We're just speaking about perspective, right? I often say on the podcast, perspectives will be respected by everybody. You get what I'm saying? I say that for a reason. I appreciate the YouTube viewership, the Facebook, Clubhouse, Instagram, you guys far in there. I think we tackled this one. Another one for the books. Lindsay said, get her phone number. Get her phone number. Listen, this is a great vibe. I appreciate everybody tapping in with us. Live on Broadway podcast. You know how to find me on Instagram. I am _Broadway. You know I appreciate you, King. You know the vibe. Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Broadway the Giant. We out of here. Appreciate you all for tapping in with us. You heard?
Clear.